Alhamdulillah, salatu salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi amma ba'd. Alright, let's move on our crash course or intensive workshop on Tarbiyyah Islamiyyah, Islamic Tarbiyyah. Khairan inshallah. We left on the part of quality and quantity. The next point is, it says ID and ego. Perhaps we can have a new volunteer, someone else to read for us. Please, anyone volunteer to read in English?
2.6.
Reality and perfection. Fadl. Reality and perfection is a very crucial point of Islamic Tarbiyyah. There's something which is real, and there's something which isn't real. Perfection is one thing, reality is different. Rather, even in the realm of reality, we have that which is practical. That which is real is not always practical. It's a difference. Khair inshallah, the life and the life after, etc. Moving on, 2.6, transformation or action oriented.
A sound Islamic Tarbiyyah should produce an individual who is in constant interaction with his or her surroundings, positively changing him or herself as well as his or her environment. An individual who understands that this universe has been created for him or her and that is not befitting to be passive, and say, work righteousness, for soon will Allah, His apostles, and the believers observe your work, and soon will you be brought back to the knowledge of what is hidden and what is open. Then will He show you the truth of all that you did.
This is very, very profound concept. A Muslim is not to be passive. A Muslim is not to be lazy and lethargic. A Muslim is not to be, just totally docile and non-active. A Muslim is supposed to be by nature a busybody. A busybody by nature. Whether it's pertaining to yourself, pertaining to your family, your environment, your community. A Muslim is supposed to be what? Supposed to be moving all the time. Improvement of the self. Improvement of others. And the proof of that is what Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran. وَقُلْ اِعْمَلُوا. Allah says, وَقُلْ, O Muhammad, say Muhammad, اِعْمَلُوا. Work, perform deeds. Why? Allah will see, the messenger will see, the believers will see. And at the end, Allah is going to tell you what was hidden and what was plain. Don't sit still as a believer. So from the most important objectives of the murabbi, of the cultivator, towards the murabba, the cultivated, is to get him and her to move, to shake them up. Don't sit still. Be active in whatever you do, whatever field you're in. You understand this? And it lies no doubt from the from the greatest virtues of a coach or a trainer is to break the lazy spirit of the student or of the player. If a person left a coach or left a personal trainer, and the only thing they got from them is that they got rid of their lethargicness, their laziness, that will be a benefit. And there lies no doubt what makes a good player from a great player is work ethic. Work ethic. Hard work. There's no substitute for it, for hard work. Everybody understand this? Talent is one thing. Special capabilities, so on and so forth, that's one thing. But just sheer hard work. So it's very important for the Muslim to be a Muslim who has this harakiyyah, that moves about, not to just sit back in any aspect of the religion. Everybody got this? Very important concept of Islamic Tarbiyyah. So first and foremost, reform the self, establish an Islamic home, guide society by spreading the call of righteousness, liberate the Muslim land from un-Islamic or foreign control, whether political, economic, or ideological. Very important. These are all part and concepts of Islamic Tarbiyyah. Number 5, reform the government in Muslim lands so that it may become truly an Islamic government. Rebuilding the international prominence of the Islamic Ummah until once again and long-awaited unity and the lost Khilafah is returned. This is from the Deen. This is from the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, as we said before, what people do or what you are shown on a television screen or on a computer screen or what you read in the newspaper anything that's against the Quran and the Sunnah, in the name of Islamic Tarbiyyah, or in the name of establishing a Khilafah, or in the name of Jihad, or any other thing else, if it's against the rules of Allah and His Messenger, has nothing to do with the pure concept. The concept of unity, the concept of Jihad, the concept of Khilafah and Khalifa. Those are what? Islamic concepts. It is unlawful for us to look down upon them and to say or claim that they're not from the religion. Now, what people do to reach those concepts, that's a different story. You understand? That's a what? It's a different story. If a man and a woman get married, and the man mistreats the woman, or the woman mistreats the husband, we don't say marriage is bad, do we? We don't say that. We say they had a bad experience in their marriage. He went about getting married, he went out the wrong way. She did it in an incorrect manner. But we do not reject with our tongues or with our actions the concept of marriage. The institution of nikah in Islam. Can everybody agree on this? Similarly, we say about jihad fi sabilillah. If someone does something that is wrong, that's incorrect, that does not tarnish the pure Islamic concept. Everybody clear on this? So these people say this is a Muslim Khilafah, this is the Muslim Khalifa, and they're doing things which are against Allah and His Rasul. We say we have nothing to do with that. However, the concept, if it's proven in the Quran and Sunnah, then we have to say that the concept is what? Right or wrong? Without a doubt. Everybody got this? The example of marriage. There's nothing wrong with getting married. Allah commanded us to get married. The Prophet ordered us to get married. If people do things that are wrong in marriage, that is their own problem. And Islam and the Sharia is not blamed for it. Everybody clear on this? This is crucial to understand this. Very crucial. We don't want to spend no more time on that. Guiding the world by spreading the call of Islam to all corners of the globe. This should be a concept of the Murabbi. Son, wherever you go, always call people to Islam. If you want to be a doctor, then teach the patients about what Islam says about the body. If you are a biologist or a chemist or whatever you are, an engineer, teach the people what Allah says about these sciences. Allah taught man what he didn't know. Allah gave man a mind. He gave him etc. Everybody understand this? Whether it's through scientific miracles, quote unquote, in the Quran, any means of da'wah to every corner of the earth. And the Muslim, whether he likes it or not, whether she likes it or not, is to be a caller to Allah. Every Muslim is to be a caller to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one way or another. Whether you are a shaykh, an imam, a full-time caller, whether you're skilled in the field of da'wah, or whether you walk down the street and your appearance is a means of da'wah. Holding the door for a woman is a means of da'wah. Being kind and polite and courteous is a means of da'wah. Giving a book to someone, a tape to someone is a means of da'wah. But every single Muslim has the responsibility of da'wah, whether you like it or not. And this is something that we must instill in our children. Son, whether you like it or not, you're a role model. People are looking at you for no other reason except for your name. For no other reason. You can't do whatever you want to do because people are looking at you to be the best, even though you're a human being. But you're a Muslim, you have a Muslim name. So they expect Muslims to be perfect. We're not perfect, but we have to try to put forth the best example for the people. In our character, in our speech, and what we do in our business dealings. There has no doubt. So many people are used to getting tricked and cheated and deceived and getting jacked up on the prices. When you do jobs for the non-Muslims, say, wow, that's it? That's how much it costs? Yeah, just give me give me $2,500 for the job. You do the whole basement for that? Yeah. But the other guy said $5,000. Well, we're Muslim, we're honest. We're Muslim, we don't cheat people. We're Muslim, we try our best not to deceive, etc. Attach Islam to your profession. Attach Islam to your what? Whatever you do. If you play sports and they give you an interview and they say, oh, why are you so great? Why are you so excellent? You can say, well, Islam teaches us to perfect whatever we seek and whatever we set out to do. Islam teaches us to work hard. Why are you such a good team player? Islam teaches us selflessness. Everybody got this? It's very important for us to understand this concept of tarbiyyah. Brotherhood, sisterhood, and shared narratives. Al-ukhuwa wal-fahm al-mushtarak. A sound tarbiyyah should unite the hearts and spirits of the participants by the bond of belief. Unity produces strength, but there cannot be unity without love. Tarbiyyah should emphasize that the group can survive with or without the individual, but the individual can only survive with the group. The wolf preys upon the sheep that strays from the flock. The believing men and the believing women are helpers and protectors of one another. It's a hadith that states, فَإِنَّمَا يَأْكُلُ الذِّئْبُ مِنَ الْغَنَمِ الْقَاسِيَةِ. The wolf only gets the sheep which is alone. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ. He says the believers, men and women. In other words, Allah says don't have no misconceptions. Men and women are awliya. They protect one another. They keep each other safe. So a sound Islamic Tarbiyyah should develop shared and collective understanding of number one, Aqidah principles based on the Aqidah of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the Aqidah of Islam. What do we believe about the Quran? Is the Quran Allah's speech? Or is it something other than Allah's speech? Are the Sahaba, were they the best of the Muslim nation or the worst of the Muslim nation? Does your faith increase and decrease? Does it fluctuate? Your deeds, are they a part of your faith or not? Is there pre-decree or not? Everybody understand this? Is there heaven? Is there hell? Is there life in the grave? Anything that you believe in has to be based off of the Quran and the Prophet's way. That's the way of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. The Muslims who refuse to change. The Muslims who refuse to be altered by new ideologies, new ideals, and new ideas. That's not what Allah and His Messenger told us. We believe that there is afterlife. We believe in resurrection. We believe in the punishment in the grave and the happiness in the grave. We believe that Allah speaks. Allah loves. Allah has names and He has qualities. He has attributes. This is our creed. This is our theology. This is what we believe in. Everybody clear on this? And not only do we believe in it, but we unite upon that. Wal jama'ah. That we just don't believe individually, but we believe collectively as a whole. Because there's strength in numbers. Fikr. Principles, how to deal with, interpret, and apply the teachings of the Quran and the Sunnah. And the Harakah principles, Dawah stages, Dawah mechanisms, absolutes versus absolutes and priorities. This is crucial. What do we do? What don't we do? Do we go in the ministry and make Dawah, or we stay inside of the masjid? Is it permissible to make a film and a movie about Islam, or impermissible? Do we use the internet? Do we use the billboards? Can we take pictures for Dawah or not? These are all considered what? Stages and mechanisms. Absolutes versus non-absolutes. In other words, things which are absolutely unlawful. This issue is not open for debate. We can't do this. But this issue here, perhaps, there's some type of detail. There's some ins and there's some outs in this issue for the bigger maslahah. For the what? The general benefit of all. Everybody clear on this? Moving on. The utilization of systematic procedural model. Al-manhajiyyah wa tadarruj. Systematic procedure. In other words, Tarbiyyah should not be all over the place. Tarbiyyah shouldn't be haphazard and haywire. It should be systematic. And as we said before, shay'an for shay'an. Procedural is steps in Tarbiyyah. You do not force everything upon the child. You do not force everything upon the student all at once. And this is in thinking, judging, methodology. Al-manhajiyya also means that the participants should understand priorities, awlawiyat, trade-offs, muwazanat, and end results, ma'alat. Yani, this thing in Tarbiyyah is a priority, son. Priority for you to take care of your family. Then we have trade-offs. I prefer for you to go to school and be an engineer. But if you went to school and you became something else, that's okay too. As long as you feed your family. And then we have the end results. What is the end? Are you successful or a failure? Everybody clear on this? It's a very important concept of Tarbiyyah and of Dawah. Tayyib, khair inshallah. Let's move on. Khair inshallah. Making shura. It should also emphasize the seeking knowledge from rituals of making Dawah at the end of khair inshallah. Tarbiyyah means mechanisms. Khair inshallah. Let's get a new reader or continue for us. Continue to finish reading for us. Tarbiyyah, it means and mechanisms. Tarbiyyah means
and mechanisms may include any act that does not conflict with Allah's Sharia. Has the potential of achieving Islamic Tarbiyyah and benefits the Muslim in this life and the life after.
As we previously mentioned, Sheikh Habib, we mentioned this, is that you're allowed to do any means of Tarbiyyah as long as it doesn't go against the Kitab and the Sunnah. Electronically, physically, a letter, this and that, candy, whatever it is, that is a means of Tarbiyyah. and it achieves the intended goal without going against the Sharia. Some Muslims, they think that they can do haram things to get benefits. No, you can't do that. Some Muslims think that they can use Tarbiyyah according to Quran and Sunnah, but it doesn't produce the results. There is a benefit. There's a double, it's two sides. There's a balance. Tarbiyyah means include the word, the role model, Tarbiyyah bil qudwa, and the situation, Tarbiyyah bil mawqif, the story, Tarbiyyah bil qissa, the scolding, Tarbiyyah bil uquba, discipline and punishment, the practical field experience, Tarbiyyah bil mumarasa. The following is a list of Tarbiyyah mechanisms we intend to utilize. Fadal.
Development circle.
Development circle. Call it an usra or a halaqa. Fadal.
The overnight program.
Overnight program.
The trip.
Trip. Rihla. Katiba. Tayyib. The camp. Mukhayyam.
The training program.
Dawra.
The convention.
Nadwa.
The conference.
Al-Mu'tamar. These are all means of Tarbiyyah. We should take our children on trips. The principal of the school should take the children on trips. Why do you think non-Muslims have trips at their school? Because that is a means of Tarbiyyah. Their Tarbiyyah. The trip is not like the classroom. It's different. Different atmosphere, different environment. And it's not just for fun. That's why they make the trip educational at the same time. They give you a good experience. There lies no doubt about this. Or if we have a training program in which we teach our children certain skills, certain techniques. A convention, when we bring in foreign speakers, foreign imams, khatibs, other people that can listen to them, and they'll lend their ears perhaps more to the foreigner than the resident. There's no doubt about that. Khair, inshallah, moving on. The usra.
Oh, this is a,
Follow? Right, now,
this is an unofficial translation of the chapter.
now before we move on,
Yeah.
malish. Khair, inshallah, let's go on. طيب أسرة الإدارة, history and structure. طيب خير inshallah. Now we're going to switch back here to our Arabic. I'm going to take some other points بإذن الله سبحانه وتعالى. طيب, who can give me a summary of everything that we spoke about so far? Anybody? Who can summarize the convention or the workshop so far? Nobody? Please? This one?
Tarbiyyah is a relationship between the teacher and the student, the murabbi and the murabbi. And Tarbiyyah has different meanings. And it's, at the end of the day, it all has to do with the Quran and Sunnah. It has to be the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants it to be.
Right, okay, this is good. These are good summary points, but we need a little more detail. Let's start off with the meaning of Tarbiyyah. Really, really briefly. Tarbiyyah linguistically means what? To educate or to fix something that's wrong. Or to enhance and increase. Or to discipline. Tayyib. What else?
Guide,
To guide.
to oversee, guide, to
Tayyib. What else?
prop up.
What does the word Tarbiyyah mean, or how is it used in the Quran? Rasil. How do we say that the word Rabba or Murabbi is mentioned?
Knowledge, wisdom.
Wisdom and knowledge. Ahsant. What else? Quickly.
Look after.
To look after something.
Educate.
Okay, anything else before we move on? Okay, that's the definition of the Tarbiyyah. What is the Islamic definition of the word Tarbiyyah?
Comprehensively raise a human being.
To comprehensively raise and educate a human and gradual steps
Gradually, thoroughly,
Aspects of life.
seeking pleasure of both the world
to seeking the pleasure, to seeking the goodness in this life and in the hereafter,
according to Islamic methodology.
according to the Islamic methodology. That's what Tarbiyyah means. Is to raise someone in every aspect that he or she needs to be raised in, physically, spiritually, mentally, in gradual steps, with the purpose of seeking happiness in this life and the hereafter, according to the Islamic methodology. That is a comprehensive understanding of what? Of Tarbiyyah. Khair, inshallah. What is the ruling on Tarbiyyah? Recommended, disliked, haram, permissible? What is the ruling on Tarbiyyah? Quickly. A mandatory, ascent, wajib. The next thing that we spoke about was what? Conditions or types. Abu Muhammad, talk to me, Sheikh. All right, now let's talk about some benefits of Tarbiyyah. Let's talk about some what? Some benefits of what? Of Tarbiyyah. أولا أهمية التربية للفرد. إن للتربية أهمية كبيرة في حياة الفرد. في استجابة وعبادة لله تعالى وراحة وطمأنينة للنفس وثناء وعزة وكرامة للفرد في حياته وبعد مماته. First and foremost, Tarbiyyah here in this source that we have, this piece of literature that we're reading from, Tarbiyyah has a great importance in the life of the individual. First and foremost, it is responding to Allah and worshiping Him, the Exalted. It is also a means of rest and relaxation. And it is also a means of thana, praise, might and glory, and honor for the individual in this life and in the hereafter. There's no doubt about that. Perhaps we can cut these lights off over here, maybe. Fine. Very, very good. Much better. That's good like that?
No.
Khair, inshallah. Now, moving on. Tarbiyyah has a great importance in the life of the individual. Why? Number one, it is a means of responding to Allah. How is Tarbiyyah a means of responding to Allah? Because Allah commanded us to protect ourselves and our families from what?
Fire.
From the fire, as we mentioned previously. Now, that's first and foremost. Secondly, it's ibadah. The Prophet ﷺ says, Murru abna'akum bis salati wa hum abna'u sab'in. Command your children to pray, and they are 7 years old. So it's worship. Number three, it is a means of raha, that you can relax. How can a person relax when he makes proper tarbiyyah? Who can explain this point?
Because you're not in doubt.
You're not in doubt about what?
When you have the right tarbiyah, when you're doing it according to the sunnah, then
There's
when
no.
you can relax, then you cannot.
A person can go to sleep and say, well, at least I'm not a bad parent.
Correct.
At least I know my children don't have to be in the street begging. My children don't have to be hungry and cold. At least my children, I taught them what is correct. And hopefully that's one less thing that I have to stand in front of Allah to answer for on the day of judgment. I have my own sins, my own problems, my own imperfections, but I know I'll starve to make sure my children have food. I may not have time to go to the class, but I'll work for my children to be free to study Islam. So you can sleep at night. Everybody understand this? There's no doubt. Those who work really hard, they sleep the best at night. Moving on, وَطُمَأْنِينَةٌ لِلنَّفْسِ, a means of tranquility. Khair. He says, وَثَنَاءٌ, praise. How is Tarbiyyah Islamiyyah a means of praise or reason behind praise? How is this? Who can explain this quickly? How does this include praise? When you're a good mother to your children or a good father, do people notice it or not?
Yes.
Right or wrong?
Yes.
Without a doubt. Not everybody, but somebody's going to notice it. And you don't make tarbiyah for people to say good things about you. But it is a reward in the dunya. Bushra ajila is a expedited reward that comes in dunya. MashaAllah, look at Fulan with his daughters. Look at Fulan and look at her children. MashaAllah. Look at her son. Look what he did. Look where he went. And the believer, there lies no doubt, when he receives this type of praise, it is a means of encouragement. And it is a means of thankfulness. Alhamdulillah. All praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, وَعِزَّةً and might. How is it a means of might and honor? When you raise your children properly, in most cases, what will they do?
Raise their children properly.
Not even that. Before you go that far,
Worship Allah properly.
something else. You take care of your children when they're young and in need,
They take care of you.
without a doubt. You protect them from harm. In most cases, they're going to keep you safe. They're going to protect you. There lies no doubt a mother who properly raises her son to be a big, strong man, he's not going to let anyone do anything to his mother. He may not agree with his father. He may not like his father. But moms, off limits. There's no doubt about that. Very often we find, unfortunately, there may be an issue in which the son doesn't like the father. It happens all the time. Or they have their disagreements. They really don't like each other that much. Is this not the case? But the mother, forget about it. No one is going to do anything to his mother. Because of what? Because she made the tarbiyyah of him. She taught him why. She taught him how. She gave him Islam. She fed him. She took care of him. She loved him. So it's a means of honor and it's a means of protection when you're in need. So the reward of good is nothing but good. So the tarbiyyah, you're going to benefit from it in this life and also in the hereafter. Another benefit of the tarbiyyah, he says, wa karama, and it means of honor and nobility in this life and in the hereafter. How is this? What will you benefit from tarbiyyah in the hereafter?
Children.
How? What about them? What do I get from what do I get from children hereafter? Big deal.
If you give them the right tarbiyah, they'll pray for you.
They will pray for you when you pass away. The Prophet ﷺ says, إِذَا مَاتَ, he says, when the son of Adam dies, إِنْ قَطَعَ عَمَلُهُ إِلَّا مِنْ ثَلَاثٍ. All of his deeds stop or cut off except for three, the rewards of them. He mentioned from them, أَوْ وَلَدٍ صَالِحٍ يَدْعُو لَهُ. The hadith is in Sahih Muslim, it says, or a righteous child who prays for him. Ask yourself the question, in most cases, not all of the time, but where does a righteous child come from? Righteous parents, righteous tarbiyyah, righteous Islamic home. We know that a person who is raised as a Muslim doesn't always end up as a Muslim, unfortunately. Or there could be a righteous person in the home of someone wicked, as was the wife of Pharaoh, or the son of Nuh. He was a disbeliever. Nuh was a messenger of God. But in most cases, when there's righteousness in the home, when there's proper tarbiyyah, and not even only in the religious sense, but even when you teach your child dignity in the dunya, you teach them prestige and honor and self-respect and respect of others in the dunya, there lies no doubt when you die, they're going to pray for you. And before they even pray for you, they're going to make the proper janazah. They're going to make sure your debts are taken care of. They're going to make sure nothing is done that is against what Allah and His Messenger say when you pass away, let alone dua. They're going to pray for you. But there's more. What else? What else will you get from tarbiyyah in the hereafter?
When you judge by Allah, you
Intercession. Your children can intercede for you. Oh Allah, don't punish my father. Oh Allah, don't punish my mother. Oh Allah, keep my grandparents safe from the hellfire. Everybody clear on this? And there are many other things that you will receive from what? From the Islamic tarbiyyah. Khairan, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the first point we mentioned was obedience to Allah, the Mighty and the Majestic. Then he says, أمن نفسي للفرد إن التربية القائمة على المنهج الإسلامي لها عوائد وفوائد عديدة على الاستقرار النفسي لأن الفرد الذي يتربى على العقيدة الإسلامية يتحقق له من السكون النفسي ما لا يتحقق لغيره. فالله سبحانه وتعالى خلق الخلق لعبادة الجامعة لمعرفته. طيب خير إن شاء الله. Let's go and let's deal with a faida, a benefit of tarbiyah, not for the murabbi, but for the murabba, the one who receives the tarbiyah. And that is peace of mind, spiritual security. And that is, from the most important components of the Islamic tarbiyah, is to teach them the Islamic creed, the Islamic belief system. Allah the Exalted, He tells us, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَمْ يَلْبِسُوا إِيمَانَهُمْ بِظُلْمٍ أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمُ الْأَمْنُ وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. Allah tells us, those who believe and do not mix and confuse their belief with dhulm, with oppression and tyranny, أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمُ الْأَمْنُ, they will be the people who will receive safety and peace. وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ, and they will be rightly guided. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu narrated that when this verse was sent down, the companions felt as if they were in trouble. The companions were a little unsure. They were afraid. And they said, Ayyuna lam yadhlim nafsahu. It says, which one of us doesn't oppress himself? Which one of us doesn't mix his iman with dhulm, with wrongdoing? Which one of us is free from sin? And the Prophet ﷺ, he said that what's meant by dhulm is shirk, polytheism. As Luqman ﷺ said to his son, Inna shirka la dhulmun azim. He says, don't make shirk, my son, for indeed shirk is a horrible act of oppression. So therefore, if you raise your child upon Tawheed, and the love of Tawheed, and the understanding and the practice of Tawheed, he and she is going to be far from shirk. And when they know Allah and the rights of Allah, bi'idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will have that promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Two things. First is aman, safety, and that term is comprehensive in general. Safety of oneself, safety of one's mind, safety of one's body. And then they will have guidance, hidayah. If you want your child to be guided, then teach your child Tawheed. You want your child to be at rest and to avoid depression. If you want your child to avoid suicide, which many people will have a problem with, taking pills, drinking and smoking. Most people, they take pills, they drink alcohol, they smoke marijuana, not to get happy, but to avoid miserableness, to avoid depression, to avoid the problems of the harsh realities of life. Allah the Exalted, He says, speaking about the disbelievers, yuriduna an yakhruju min an-nar. In the 5th chapter, Surah Al-Ma'idah, Allah says, they want to leave the fire. وَمَا هُمْ بِخَارِجِينَ مِنْهَا. Allah says, they would never leave it. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُقِيمٌ. And they will have a constant punishment, a permanent punishment. Even though this verse is speaking about the hereafter and the hellfire, it also means, and it shows us that those who do not know Allah are always in torment. They're always in punishment. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he said, this verse clearly shows us why the kuffar drink so much, and why they smoke so much, and why they always need amusement and laughter. They always need games and things to do what? To take them out of their miserable state, which is a means of punishment. Is this not the truth? Everything has to be entertainment. Has to be comedy. Sports. How many sports are there? Every season there's a sport. It's hockey, baseball, football, basketball, tennis, golf, boxing. It's something to keep your mind engaged away from work. There's happy hour. There's a drink. We have a celebration. We have a holiday. It's always a festive mood. And it shows how bad things are even at the time of death. Even at the time of seriousness, and the time of needing to reflect and to ponder, the kuffar, they have to do what?
Drink.
Have to drink. There's no non-Muslim funeral without alcohol.
Wedding.
You need to go to church and drink.
It has to be. There has to be a constant state of